Young is a historian, like she's a teacher, and she's really interested and committed to Korean history. So she knows so much about so many things. We've had so many interesting conversations about Korean history. So, okay. What do we need to know about hanbok?
네, 우선 배범준 군이 입은 한복은 아마 영화에서 본 거하고는 조금 다를 것입니다.
So these are the clothes these are called hanbok, which is traditional wearing in Korea. They are all wearing it. And when you guys see Bomjun's hanbok, it's a little different from general hanboks that you see from dramas or media in general.
한국 이름으로 철릭이라고 하는데, 네, 철릭. 첼로를 해야 돼서 이렇게 주름 잡힌 철릭을 일부러 선택을 했습니다.
So he's wearing a thing called chunni, which is variation of hanbok. The reason is because he needs to play cello. There are a lot of wrinkles on the clothes, which will make it more practical when he plays cello, wearing hanbok too.
네. 그리고 지금 여동생인데 범준이가 여동생 이름을 부르지 않고 이렇게 부른다. 아가야.
So she's her younger sister of Bomjun, and whenever Bomjun calls her younger sister, she doesn't call her sister, but say agaya, which is baby, sweet honey in Korean words.
그리고 뒤를 잠깐 돌아보면 이렇게 댕기라는 머리를 했는데 결혼하지 않은 여인들이 하는 머리입니다.
So when you look on her back, she's wearing a hair accessory band, which is called dengi in Korea. This is mostly used by women who hasn't married yet.
저는 결혼을 해서 댕기 머리가 아닙니다.
Because she is already married, she's not wearing dengi. That is the difference from her.
그리고 한복 중에서 저는 일부러 이 색을 선택을 한 이유가 있습니다.
Also, she has the reason for picking up the colors for hanbok.
한국의 한복은 색깔과 모양에 따라서 그 사람의 신분과 나이를 나타냅니다.
So, gives a few heads ups. Hanbok, based on the colors and the shape, hanbok shows your age and status.
물론 지금은 잘 지켜지지 않습니다만 지금까지도 지켜지기 때문에 입고 온 한복입니다.
There are many things that are different from back then, but the color thing is still kind of a promise where people can tell things.
제가 아들과 딸이 있듯이 이 푸른색 저고리는 아들을 상징하고 이 분홍색 치마는 딸을 상징합니다.
The color symbolizes few things. The blue color symbolizes having a male child. So because she has Bomjun, she's wearing blue color on her top, and for the bottom, she's wearing pink, which stands for a girl.
이 색깔은 현재도 지켜지고 있는데 어디 가면 흔히 볼 수 있냐면 결혼식장에 가면 신랑 측 부모님은 푸른색 계열의 한복을 입고 신부 측 부모님은 분홍색 계열의 한복을 입습니다.
Where you can see the role is definitely when you go to wedding ceremonies. So if you are parents of groom's side, you wear bluish colors, and parents on the wife's side, they are wearing pinkish color.
이건 단순한 색깔만 뜻하는 게 아닙니다.
It's just not a symbol of color.
남성분들이 갖고 있는 기가 있는데 그걸 한국어로 양기라고 합니다.
It relates to yang and in theory, which symbolizes the color of man. It doesn't really symbolize the color of man. It symbolizes yang and ki in Korean words.
반면 우리 여성분들은 음기라고 합니다.
So girls are mostly born with the thing called umgi.
한국은 예를 갖추는데 나보단 남을 위한 예입니다.
People respect for others, and that is to respect someone.
그래서 남성분들의 양기를 차분하게 가라앉히기 위한 음기의 색깔의 푸른색을 입고 그와 반대로 여성은 음기를 좀 낮추기 위해서 붉은색의 옷을 입습니다. 그러니까 위더름께 예를 갖추기 위해서 남성이 갖고 있는 그 양기를 좀 더 네.
to show the respect because males usually have the vibe called yang. Girls usually wear the color that symbolizes to kind of like show respect and vice versa.
Thank you. Yeah, you taught me something the other night that always in Korea. Here, stand up for a second. If we were to shake hands in Korea, what happens often? I'll turn this way. Is people always put their hand under here. It's common, and it's a very genteel way of shaking hands. It's not like this big slap or big something. It's always you walk up to someone and just very soft. And the reason is because he has here, yeah. So he has to hold this. Yeah, the humbug. The sleeves can be really long, so he's going to hold the sleeves up. Yeah, whereas I don't have that. Right, so it's pretty cool. But for years, ever since I started working with Koreans, I wondered why it is that everybody shakes like this. Everybody does, yeah. And then I start to do it, and even here in the United States, I do it with other Americans, And I was just in Egypt when I was there 2 weeks ago, and with some Egyptian guy, I went up to him and I did this, and he looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" But it's pretty cool. East Asian culture is very much exemplified by, I would say, 2 words really. Probably more than anything, elegant simplicity. And when you're in Korean culture and when you enter into Korean culture, those 2 words really stand out. And things are very precise and subtle. And so I'm going to tell just a quick story to enter in. I spent some time in a Buddhist monastery, and the goal of the work in that monastery is not just sitting in zazen, sitting in meditation, but rather to be aware of the present moment. And each and every single moment, getting as much out of it as you possibly can. And so this ceremony, the Korean tea ceremony, very much represents that. It's about being present, about being balanced. And so Bumjun is going to demonstrate Korean tea ceremony. And Stella here you can translate and jump in when we need to explain some things of what's going on. Okay.
네, 배범준 지금부터 다래를 하겠는데요. 이 다래는 중국은 다 중국과 한국과 일본이 이름이 똑같지는 않고 조금씩 다릅니다. 그러나 아마 상대방에게 존중을 하면서 정성을 다하는 거는 똑같을 거라 여겨집니다.
Okay, so from now on, we're going to do a tea ceremony called tare in Korean. There's 3. So there are Chinese, Korean, and Japanese who perform tea ceremony, but the main fact, like the bottom line, they all have the same meaning, which is to be polite and respectful for each other.
이제부터 다래를 할 건데요. 범준 군이 한국말로는 팽주라고 합니다. 다래를 하는 사람. 네.
So now we're going to do tea ceremony, and the person who performs tea ceremony is called pengju in Korean.
배범준 공수 인사부터 합니다. 공수 인사.
Okay. So Bumjun is going to be the pengju for today's ceremony, and what he just did is he bowed before the tea ceremony to respect its performance.
오른손으로 다건을 잡아서 왼손에 놓습니다.
With your right hand, hold the.
네, 행주 타월. 네.
So you place your hand towel on the right hand and place them on the left hand.
네, 지금 티포트를 한국에서는 탕관이라고 합니다. 탕관을 들어서
So the teapot in Korean is called
탕관. 탕관.
tangguan, and you lift it and place them on top of the hand towel.
수구의 3분의 2 정도 붓습니다. 무척 뜨거워서 조심해야 합니다.
You have to be really careful because it's really hot, and you pull 2/3 into the tea ball.
다관의 뚜껑을 열어서 개치 위에 올려놓습니다.
Put the lid on top of ketsu, which is the one that he put the lid on it, and then you put the hot water into the teapot.
다시 다관의 뚜껑을 닫아서 오른손으로 다관을 잡고 첫 번째 찻종부터 3분의 2 정도 부어줍니다. 첫 번째 찻종부터 3분의 2 정도 부어줍니다.
So you put the lid on top, and with your right hand,
두 번째,
with your right hand, pour the 2/3 and the first cup, and the second cup,
세 번째,
and the third cup,
네 번째,
the fourth cup,
다섯 번째까지 부어줍니다.
and the fifth cup.
끝까지 안에 있는 물이 나오도록 합니다.
And then you pour it until the water is dried in the pot. There's no longer.
이 행위는 찻종을 따뜻하게 데워주는 역할을 합니다.
그럼 이건 마시는 건 아니에요?
아니에요.
So
네.
this process was not to drink the tea, but it was to make the cup warm. So when you actually brew the tea later, you can enjoy it in the warm temperature.
다시 탕관을 들어서 수구에 물을 3분의 2 정도 채워줍니다.
Doing the same process, pour this 2/3 of the hot water into the sugu, which is the first tea bowl that we're going to perform.
다관의 뚜껑을 열어서 개취에 올려놓고 오른손으로 다건을 잡아서 제자리에 놓은 뒤에 차호를 들어서 왼손에 놓아둡니다.
So with the right hand,
차호. 이게 손을 왼손으로 하면 이 찻상 위를 어긋나게 해서 동선이 나오지 않습니다. 네.
So the reason why I asked is because she makes sure that he only performs with right hand, and I asked why. It's because you don't want to ruin the harmony on top of the tea table, so that's why you always want to perform with your dominant hand. And so even though he was holding the hand towel in the left hand, he had to place him down with the right hand. And with the right hand, he placed the hand towel down, and now he picked up the teapot to brew the tea.
네, 차호를 다관에 가까이 가져가서 수북하게 2스푼 정도 놓아줍니다. 1스푼, 2스푼.
You put 2 full spoons into the
찻이
teapot
먼저 두고
and place
차호 뚜껑을 가지고 와서 닫아서 제자리에 놓습니다.
the spoon down, and you close it with the right hand and place them right back where it was.
다시 다건을 왼손에 놓고 수구의 물을 다관에 넣어줍니다.
With your right hand, place them on top of the left hand. Place the hand towel on top of your left hand and pour the hot water into the brewing teapot.
다관의 뚜껑을 닫은 뒤에 이 다관은 그대로 놓아둡니다. 왜냐하면 차가 우러나는 시간을 두기 위함입니다.
So we just leave it like how it is right now, so that the tea can brew while we wait for the tea to be brewed.
네, 전에 따라두었던 첫 번째 찻종부터 가지고 와서
So in that time, we're going to.
태수기에 버려줍니다.
So we heat up the cups with the hot water in the beginning, right? So during this brewing time, we're going to place those water back into this bowl so that you throw out the heating water that was not used for tea, so that you can prepare for the tea, upcoming brewing tea.
찻종이 그동안 따뜻하게 데워졌을 것입니다.
So the cups are going to be heated up.
마찬가지로 다관 속에 있는 찻잎도 우러났을 겁니다.
And the tea inside the pot will be brewed. Yeah, enough that we can drink the tea now.
다관을 잡아서 첫 번째 차점부터 3분의 1씩 조금씩만 넣어줘서 옮깁니다.
So we pour 1/3 of the tea into each cup from the first cup to the fifth.
아주 조금씩 넣어주고 다섯 번째 차종에 넣어주면 다시 거꾸로 올라갑니다. 다섯 번째부터 네 번째 거꾸로 올라갑니다.
So when you're done with the 1/3 of amount from 1 to 5, we go back from 5 to 1 to fill the rest of the water that is left.
네, 다시 마지막 세 번째 반복을 하는데요. 그 이유는 골고루 차가 우러나는 거를 담기 위함입니다.
So we do that like 1 to 5, 5 to 1, and 1 to 5 again. So we do it 3 times, and it's because you want to have proportionally brewed tea. Yeah.
세 번에 나눠서 해야 되는데 지금 네 번 여러 번 한 것 같습니다.
Oh, you're supposed to do 3 times, but he did it like 4 to 5. But
Yeah.
네, 오른손으로 차탁을 가지고 와서 왼손에 놓은 뒤에 마지막 다섯 번째 차종만 가지고 옵니다.
so you place the tea plate on top of your hand and bring the fifth cup on top instead of the first one.
네, 한국의 예절은 뭐든지 첫 번째 제일 위더름께 주는데 이 차만큼은 먼저 팽주 겁니다. 자기 자리에 옆에 놓아둡니다.
So in Korean culture, you always try to respect the eldest among all in the group. So you always give them the first tea. But in this case, because he was a tea master, like Pengju, so he's going to have the last cup for himself before he gives to the eldest one.
네, 그다음 차탁을 가지고 와서
Bring the
왼손 위에 놓고 제일 첫 번째 차종을 가지고 옵니다.
bring the tea plate and bring the first one on top of the tea plate.
이 차는 가장 위더름 또는 귀한 분께 드리는 차입니다.
So that first cup is going to be for someone who's the eldest in the group or the one who's like the main guest among all.
네, 여기 계신 분 중에 연장자가 누군지 모를 경우에는 제일 오른쪽에 계신 분께 드립니다.
Okay, so if you don't know who's the eldest in this four group of people, you always give to the one who's on the right. So you're going to get the first one.
두 손으로 차탁을 잡고 들이면 두 손으로 받아서 놓아둡니다. 네,
So
앞에 놓아둡니다.
Mike is going to get the first cup and with 2 hands, and you have to place it in front of you,
마시면 안 돼요.
and you cannot drink it.
두 번째 차탁을 가지고 와서
Not yet.
두 번째 차종을 가지고 온 뒤에 차례대로 드립니다. 두 손으로 드립니다.
With 2 hands, you go through the same process from clockwise, right? Yeah, from the right to
차례대로
the left.
가지고 와서 왼손에 차를 놓고 세 번째 차종을 해서
Drink it.
바로 옆에 계신 분께 드립니다. 또 차탁을 가지고 와서 차종을 놓은 뒤에 두 손으로 드립니다.
This is really important that you're performing this with 2 hands because if you give out with 1 hand, it's really disrespectful in our culture. So every time when she explained, she said like place the tea with your two hands. So always like just keep that in mind.
아직도 드시면 안 됩니다.
And you cannot still drink it yet.
우선 팽주가 차종을 들고 아주 조금 입안에 머뭅니다. 조금만 향을 맡은 뒤에 입안에 조금만 넣습니다. 네, 입안에 이 찬 한 모금을 입 안에 불려봅니다.
So
그리고-
no.
그리고 맛이 좋나요?
네.
그러면 인사를 합니다. 이건 마셔도 됩니다라는 신호입니다.
Okay. Oh, that's long. So the tea master in this group, he's going to take a little bit of sip and then hold into his mouth so that he can see like if the tea taste is good or not. So she asked, is the tea tasting good? And he said, yeah. So when he placed his tea back on the table, now you're allowed to drink.
인사 한 번 더 해주세요. 인사. 이제 드셔도 됩니다.
And then now
단
you can
조금만 입안에 머금어 주세요.
you can drink, but you have to. Yeah. Wait, don't drink it. 차례대로 마셔야 되는
아니요, 아니요. 다 같이 인사를 했기 때문에 같이 드세요.
No, you guys can all drink together, but take a little bit of sip.
네, 조금씩. 절대
little by little.
달콤하진 않아요.
So it's not going to be sweet because it's like very first brewly tea. So what?
굉장히 떨떠름하거나 느껴질 텐데 뒷맛은 구수합니다.
It's pretty bitter. Like.
어떤지 네.
Okay, what does it taste like?
It's a little bit bitter. It's good though.
쓰긴 한데 맛있긴 하대요.
그 잎이 첫잎, 두잎, 세잎까지 난 잎만 뽑아서 말린 잎인데 이걸 세작차라고 불립니다. 어린 잎 3개잎만 났을 때 뜯어서 말린 차입니다.
Okay, so this. Let's cut it. Okay. So this tea is called 세작차.
네.
세작차, which is when there's only 3 leaves on this one plant, we picked it up and then and then dry them as a tea. So that's why it's not fully grown tea. It's very young trees leaves.
마지막으로 다 같이 맞절을 합니다. 인사합니다. 공수 인사.
So at last, you're all going to bow to each other. And 이거 공수를 좀 설명해도 될까요? 이거 제가 1분. Yeah. So if you're girls, place your right hand on top, and if you're guys, place your left hand on top and bow to each other. You hold it like this. Well, you guys are gonna do this. And then you guys bow to each other as the ending of the tea performance. Tea
네.
ceremony, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.